Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a very important topic. And if you're someone who's gotten black tourmaline, especially black tourmaline from me, then you know what it's like to be protected. Most importantly, because God comes first. He made the tourmaline so he allows us to use it. But this video is going to explain to you about what happens when you're too protected. And is there such thing? Yeah, actually, big time. A lot of the situations that you guys encounter is because you guys are a little too protected. So sometimes things that are trying to get to you, which I talked about in my last videos, you better watch the last video if you want to know what's trying to get to you sometimes. I'm not going to repeat it in this video. But when you're too protected, when you're covered with the blood of Jesus, when you're covered with God's love, especially, if you're not in a part of the world where you have access to Jesus, there's different ways God may show himself, etc. But I teach from Christianity because I'm a Christian. And the blood of Jesus really does scare away demons. It scares away dark entities, etc. You'll notice as they try to approach, Jesus approaches closer. You'll see him in your third eye. You'll feel him. And that's a reminder of why humans are on Earth. It's because as we realize that the horrors, the karmic beings because we have actually brought them on. So if you ever wonder why certain evil spirits, certain demonic entities are here, it's because God let them be here because it's kind of our karma. Because we accepted them. There's literally a history of why they're here. Now, the thing is, what happens when you wear black tourmaline, especially from FloridaStoneman.com as a necklace? What happens when you wear bloodstone? What happens when you wear the meteorite and all the other gemstones that keep them away from you? What happens when you start gridding your house? You put Himalayan sea salt in all the corners and black tourmaline on every door, every window, every hall, every floor, every ceiling, every wall, every corner, every hall. And your house is just really protected. Like now, you're in a spiritual fortress. The game has changed. Everything changes when you practice what I teach. Especially with the black tourmaline chain, which I have on my website. That one's a vicious protection. Read people's testimonies. But the thing is, guys, what happens? You ever think about what happens when you're too protected? If you don't have many contacts or many people you contact outside of who you contact on your day-to-day life, then you won't really know unless you go out in public, and then you'll see that people around you are a little bit different. And you're like, why are people acting strange? Why do people seem very off? Or they seem like there's something wrong? You'll never figure it out, but you're not meant to because you don't have to. Yay! So when you're as protected as you possibly can be, and is there a such thing as this video is going to be called, are you too protected? There's no such thing as being too protected, although as a protected human being, you should know what to expect next. So you don't really have anything to worry about if you're doing everything you're doing right. You're moving yourself closer to God. You're always expanding your knowledge. You're always taking care of yourself, your mental health, your peace, your every aspect of your life. If you're on top of it and you're doing as much as you can, then you don't have to worry because you're doing the best you can. If you're wearing the crystals, such as black tourmaline, especially for my website, because that's a miracle worker. But when you're doing everything right and you're just 100% protected, which that's a thing. People could curse you, you don't really care. It'll try to hit the tourmaline, it bounces straight off, it goes back to them. People don't care. When you wear the gemstones, they protect you automatically. Herbs are different because they're more manual, they're of the earth, while crystals are of the heavens. So what happens afterwards? After you're too protected? This is going to be a really interesting curving point in the video. And this took me a long time to figure out. So after you're the maximum amount of protected, and you're praying over yourself, you're praying over your family's protected, everyone's good, and everyone's great, they will use people who are not close to you. What does that mean? They'll use people who are extensions of you, even if temporary. So if a person's a temporary extension, they can be used. If that person's not fully close to God or their relationship has been lacking with God, they're subject to attack. demonic attack. A very specific set of beings will attack them. And no one will ever know it. No one will ever know it. People just think they're having a bad day when these set of beings just kind of like this. Because that's pretty much what they can do. They can't really get to you. They try this with you, and Jesus is like, nope. St. Michael's like, nope. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, it's like, nope. No, you can't. You just can't. Because God makes the rules, and you're not going to break them. You're going to follow them. And this person's doing everything right, so you can't. You just can't. That's it. You can't. So, and for people, and this is super interesting, for the people who I teach, once you wear Florida Stone Man's black tourmaline, and I suggest my black tourmaline as a chain, especially because it's between clear quartz and it amplifies the protections, etc. Then you put black tourmaline around your house. So after you protect yourself, you protect your house. So after you protect the windows, the doors, the ceiling you don't have to worry about unless you have a glass ceiling, the floors, which you can do floor washes. The outside, oh yeah, that's the biggest thing ever. Outside, the outside of your house is, you can put iron around it. So, any form of iron. So that's why people back then would put nails in the ground. Online, it's a trend with railroad spikes. You can do that too. You can hang little charms of iron outside. Whatever form of iron, dark entities, demonic entities really don't like the element of iron as much. They can stand it, but they can't really tolerate it for that long. They can't, because there's an action of dark entities, specifically this set of demon. They wait for you to get on, because they can't push you when you're on two legs, so they wait for you to get on one leg, and sometimes you just have a day where you're on one leg, and then they'll do a little push, as much as the push as they could possibly do. With the element of iron, which iron's technically a crystal. Oh no, iron's not a crystal, it's metal. Neither is amber, but we still call it a crystal here, okay? Yeah, for anyone who has any questions. So iron's like a temporary leg. So nothing can go like that. So iron inside, iron outside, iron in the corners. You can put a little, it doesn't matter. Even if you have just a ball of iron, just put it in the corner. That's it. I mean, pointy iron is wonderful. But I'm not going to teach much about that because black tourmaline and selenite and clear quartz in every corner with Himalayan sea salt as a lamp in every corner is enough. That's enough. That's enough. You don't have to worry about anything else. You can add extra protections if you feel like it, but... And one thing you can do as well, I'm going to teach this little secret. With Himalayan salt, you take Himalayan salt lamp, you put cascarilla as a cross, and you put them between every window and door that connects from inside to outside, and you put them all over the home. So in this video, I guess I teach more about protections than I thought I would, but it's just, if you weren't as protected, now you're gonna be. I have videos on protection, but you have to understand, once your home is a fortress, once the people in the home are fortified, once people understand that if you feel angry, it might not be your own emotions, you better watch the last video because it explains all about that. So they can't get the people inside the house, and they can't get inside the house. If anything, they'll be in the yard. These entities will look at you from the yard, outside your window. That's why you block the corners, because they usually stand in the corners. And then when they go in the yard, you can throw some black tourmaline dust outside in the yard too. You can do it every month. It works. Then they can't get in. What next? Well, this is where it gets super interesting. Well, you have to go to the grocery store, right? You have to go to the gym, right? Well, for the people going to the gym, you have to go to work, right? You have to go to the sauna. People often have appointments to do stuff. People have plans. These beings know that your house, that outside's fortified, so they're doing stuff around that. They're incorporating themselves into your plans. So if you're a very protected person of God, and you go out, whoever you see, whoever you're making contact with, they're subject to attack if they're not close to God. That's why you must pray for people you come in contact with. People are not thinking about this. So after this video, I'd like you to pray. add to your prayers for anyone I come in contact with or am I around. May they be covered with the blood of Jesus. May they be saved. May they be just all negative energy kept away. There has been, I've learned this because I've been at the gym before, and fights will just break out about 30 feet away from me, and the gym is pretty big. So about 30 feet away from me, fights will just break out, and I'll just start praying. I'll just start praying for the fight to end. And as soon as I say the word Jesus, everyone just stops, like everyone just drops whatever they're doing, and people, the rage come up, just fully like envelops off of people. And people act like they haven't been fighting, and even people who have been fighting with each other will just continue working out next to each other as if it never happened. It's like the weirdest like day and night difference. It's like, what just happened? And it took me a while to learn. I'm like, oh, so these things are trying to stir up stuff around me because it can't get to me, but essentially it would get to me if I walked through it. So they'll always try to work their way around you. They can't get you in public with a necklace such as black tourmaline, for example, or bloodstone. Maybe black tourmaline, then bloodstone, then all of the crystals after that. But now, for example, if you're supposed to go to a gas station, and the being knows you're going to go to the gas station, let's just say they'll send someone in the gas station who's angry, who's causing problems, who's going to break stuff. So you'll be in the gas station and someone walks in, they'll just send someone in because they can't really get to you, so they'll do stuff around you. So they'll just, if you understand the concept here, they'll manipulate certain situations around you to try to happen to you, and sometimes they will happen to you. Only if you don't pray for it. If you don't pray for that to not happen to you, extensions, people, and I've made a video about this. I've been warning you guys, and you guys haven't taken my warnings. So the people will try to get to you because the people who are godless, the people not of God, can fully 100%, 100%, not a 90, not 99, not 98, 100% they can be used as a pawn easily. So these beings who are in lots of pain and anguish and agony will just, all they have to do is just send what they're feeling towards whoever's around you, and they'll feel that too, and they'll get into it with you. They'll butt heads with you. So a way around this, mainly prayer. Because you can't control situations around you. Ask God to just keep the enemy, these set of enemies, because once you start knowing what's attacking you that's not a human, then you know. And you don't have to worry about them because if you're praying, it's covered. So add this to your prayers. Add this to your knowledge. Add this to your experience, because you probably dealt with this before and not have realized it. Let's just say, and for whoever's viewing this video, you probably had a day where everything's perfect and great, but it's people who try to get you. It's people who try to get you mad. It's people who try to ruin your day. They'll be used as people in traffic, etc. The answer is prayer. And people are like, well, in this kitchen, in this situation, in this kitchen, do you pray? I'm thinking about there was an ad before this video, but something about I'm not gonna say a kitchen, but in this situation, do you just pray? Well, that's all you can do. You've done everything you can do. If you're protecting yourself, if you're praying for yourself, then you'll specifically pray for other people in this circumstance. You'll ask that God may cover his feathers and forgive those who are not even close to him. That the enemy can't use them if you're going to come in contact with them that day. You can't pray for everyone in the world. I mean, yeah, you can, but you can't at the same time. But more specifically, the people you come in contact with, even ahead of time, they can get attacked just to be able to try to reach you. If someone's supposed to be helping you, and let's just say you're not overly close to the person, you just met them, etc., and these set of enemies will know if they attack them, they can't help you as much. So they're going to attack them. It's super interesting. But that's what happens when your protections are too strong. The enemy will go around. And when I say that enemy, I'm not talking about the devil. I'm talking about a set of Yeah, watch my last video if you want to know who's these set of entities. And no human can send them. They're bound to do a certain set of things. Mainly send people anger, dread, fear, hatred, anguish, sorrow, sadness. So for people who I help, for people who I help and people who I'm very close to, they have to know that you'll have to be a person of God. You have to move yourself closer to God. You have to pray for certain beings to not come close to you, because me being a angelologist, they'll try to use people around me to try to get to me. Anyone. So I pray for everyone. So everyone who I haven't met or everyone who I will meet, I'll pray for in my day. That's the most you can do. You can't do much else. That's it. Pray for others. Pray for others. And you'll have much better days. So come up with something personal. Just whatever you're doing in your schedule, a simple prayer. Okay, it just depends on what you're doing in your day. Depends if you go out, if you don't go out, who you're coming in contact with. If you come in contact with a bunch of people, say something personal to you and ask God to protect everyone who's going to come in contact with you from any set of entities, and so their angels may be able to get whatever entities off of them that try to come near them. That's why people are so angry, sad, upset, etc. all the time, and they don't recognize that. They think they're just having a bad day when it's not even their emotions. Watch my last video. It's extremely educational. The other alternative is, and this is very important as well. Now, if you're someone who is extremely protected, one thing that the enemy will do, these set of enemies, they'll try to get you away from your protections. They'll try to make you phobic, like hydrophobic to your protections. So they'll try to scare you away from certain crystals. They'll try to scare you away from certain cleansings, tactics. They'll try to scare you away from spirituality in general. They won't want you using anything such as any of the tourmalines. They don't want to use any form of bloodstone. They don't want you using any form of jasper, because these keep demons away. They don't want you using certain herbs such as angelica. And it may just come off as, because these entities can't get to you unless you put one of your shields down. So your shield is a little too strong. It's up a little too high. You know, if you hold your shield, and they'll be able to use someone to come around to you to get the shield to go down. So if you hold your shield up, and you're holding your shield up like this, and nothing can penetrate the shield, and things are hitting the shield, things are bouncing off the shield. Your fellow soldier who has not been prayed over, or hasn't been prayed over fully, or hasn't prayed for, it's not 100% protected like you are. They say, hey, you know, if you lower the shield, like, if you hold the shield up for too long, it's not good for your arm. And like, when you lower the shield, you'll be able to get some sunlight because the sun's shining, but you're blocking it with your shield. So you're blocking out the positive energy from the sunlight, and you could be getting some sun, which could be helping your eyes, which could be helping your focus, which could help you stay awake, which can help you feel more energized, and your arm won't be as tired. You'll feel a lot better because you're putting your shield down a little bit. You'll have the same amount of protection. You'll probably have more protection. And just lower the shield a little bit, just because it'll let more positive energy in and more negative energy out. You'll feel better. It's a win-win, right? So, however, it was so convincing. Your fellow soldier told you to lower the shield when it was doing its job because it made it seem more beneficial to not have the shield up as high. Now you lower the shield, bing, arrow, right into the third eye. I hope you get the analogy. So you'll have someone come around and say, oh, you don't need those crystals, baby, honey, darling. I see comments like that. Oh, baby, all you need is Jesus. All you need to do is pray, when the Bible literally says you can't just pray. You have to act too. God put crystals on the earth for us to use. He literally made them. If you put black tourmaline in front of 5G, it stops the 5G from getting to your head. If you put black tourmaline in front of you and your enemy, they can't get through that, just like they can't get through 5G. Which is highly a reason, as I wrote, this is mainly why I recommend black tourmaline as a chain. It's because it guards your head like a shield that nothing can get through until it breaks. which the enemy will try to do, or until you take it off and just not wear it. Now you're open. Now the shield's down. Remember that sunlight? Oh, baby. All you need is that sunlight, a little bit of sunlight, a little more positive energy, etc. to lower the shield. Just lower the shield a little bit. It's okay. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. I hope you guys see a trend. So people will come to you in the form of, oh, you don't need all that spirituality. And I see comments like, oh, baby, you don't need that spirituality. Oh, darling. Oh, honey. Oh, sweetie. You don't need that spirituality. All you need is a little more prayer and just less spirituality, less practicing spiritual hygiene, less working with crystals, less just take down your protections, baby. It's always okay, baby. Because, yeah, once that voice changed, oh, Grandma, why are your claws, why are your fingers so sharp? Why are you so hairy? It's like Little Red Riding Hood over here. But, that's the example. It's the enemy will find a very convincing way to get you to take down your shields and to get you to take down your guards, because sometimes it's so strong that a good example, Trojan war horse. So you'll think the battle has ended and a horse comes in and a bunch of soldiers pop out because you let your guard down. That is what these set of entities are relying for you to do. So the main two ways that when your protections are too strong, what will happen? They'll go around you and they'll manipulate someone or a situation around you to try to get to you. Because once you're angry, your protections are dropped. Your guides can't see you. Your angels specifically can't perceive you as well. They can't touch or feel you anymore, or even put up certain guards around you when you're angry. It's because that dropped your vibration. Now you're in the vibration of the enemy. And number two, the infiltration method. Someone you know, someone you trust, someone who you're on a spectrum with that you can kind of really agree with, and it doesn't seem so bad at the time until they get you to drop your protections, and now you're open. And now everything's going wrong and you can't find out why. There's no explanation as to why, and you don't get the answer until you get into the afterlife. Well, as soon as you stop doing this, and that Florida Snowman taught on several different videos, is when things started getting in. You overcomplicated. Oh, baby. Oh, darling. Ooh, just take it down. Ooh, that shield. You just gotta lower it a little bit. Just so the top of your head is just open. I hope you guys understand this. I hope this is easy for you guys to understand. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Keep moving yourself closer to God. Keep becoming the highest version of yourself. Watch my other videos, especially the last one. It's probably one of the most important videos on my entire YouTube. And make sure you get a black tourmaline necklace if you haven't already. Read the testimonies on the black tourmaline necklace. It's extremely powerful. It keeps away all forms of dark energy. And you have to cleanse and charge it. And then after that, after black tourmaline, you can use the amethyst and the bloodstone. The strongest protection against demons is meteorite with tourmaline, not just on its own, but meteorite, which is a form of iron, which I talked about in this video. It's sky iron. If you have any questions, though, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.